I am Technical Sergeant Sean McAteer from the 322nd Training Squadron, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Today's event is a celebration of the remarkable achievements of these graduating airmen. It is also a ceremony that both teaches and appreciates our United States military heritage. Over the last 7.5 weeks, these airmen have been transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warrior airmen, with the foundation to serve in the world's greatest United States Air and Space Forces. Once these airmen leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in their unique specialties. They will then transition onto numerous bases around the world, some working directly with our sister services. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. These airmen have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party and the playing of the musical honors.
Head! Head! Detail, attention, head! Forward, march! Freeze, head! Freeze, head! Ha!
Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation given by Chaplain Kimberly Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, rendering a flying salute to our graduated airmen is a KC-135R. This aircraft is from the 350th Air Refueling Squadron, 22nd Air Refueling Wing, McConnell Air Force Base, Kansas.
Good morning, all. Will you pray with me? Gracious God, what a glorious new morning as we celebrate the crowning achievement of these graduating airmen. What a journey each of these men and women who stand before us today have endured as they pressed, pushed, and persevered through rigorous and disciplined basic military training. It hasn't been an easy climb for sure, but they kept moving, never giving up, and under the faithful guidance and tutelage of their amazing military training instructors, they have successfully passed every test. Lord, we also recognize and thank their family and friends who have shown their support, love, and encouragement through their letters, calls, and prayers. So right now, as these new Air and Space Force professionals step out into a promising future, we ask your favor and blessings to go with them. Go with them, God, as we anticipate and expect that the best, the very best, is yet to come. It is in your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training graduation ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony, the Commander and Superintendent, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Michael Newsom, and Chief Master Sergeant Leary Gaitan. Our guest speakers, the Commander and State Command Chief, Guam Air National Guard, Guam, Brigadier General Johnny Lizama, and Chief Master Sergeant Daniel Stone. From the graduating squadron, the Commander and Superintendent, 322nd Training Squadron, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Lieutenant Colonel Shamika Tolliver, and Chief Master Sergeant Roberto Arteaga. Special guest of the Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Gunnery Sergeant Nikki Newsom, United States Marine Corps, retired. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737th Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the State Command Chief, Guam Air National Guard, Chief Master Sergeant Stone, will now come forward and address our graduating airmen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, watching via live stream, and congratulations to our graduates. Airmen, you are joining a team of professionals dedicated to integrity, service, and excellence. The men and women who have come before you have airlifted troops and supplies into the jungles of Vietnam, executed precision airstrikes in the deserts of Iraq and Afghanistan, delivered humanitarian aid to villages in Africa and South America. They have launched missiles and flown satellites, defended airstrips, and strengthened partnerships. They have stood on the North Pole, the South Pole, and everywhere in between. As I look out at these new airmen, I can't help but reflect back on my 30-plus years in uniform with much fondness and appreciation for all that the military has afforded me. The military has positively impacted my life and molded me into the airman standing here with you today. It is my hope that one day, you too will reflect back fondly on this day and recall the feelings of accomplishment and pride you have earned and should be feeling at this moment. My challenge to you, continue to grow and develop yourselves as airmen. Strive to be the very best version of yourself. As the only limitation in life is you. Set no limits. In a few moments, you will officially become members of the world's greatest air and space force, and I am proud to be serving with you. It has been an absolute honor to be here and sharing this day with you. Congratulations once again, and welcome to the Air Force.
Thank you, Chief Stone. Today's ceremony celebrates the remarkable accomplishments of this graduating class. Our nation's future rests upon the dedication of this new class of warriors who we honor today. Chief Master Sergeant Ortega, the Superintendent, 322nd Training Squadron, will now say a few words.
Airmen, I'll leave you with this. You are joining a team that will look to you to define the character of our Air Force for years to come. We have the utmost faith in you because every time you recite the Airman's Creed, you adamantly proclaim that you will not fail. And we believe you. As your superintendent, I hereby acknowledge your completion of all graduation requirements and have recommended to Colonel Newsom and Chief Master Sergeant Gaitan that you receive your coveted Airman's Coin, which signifies your transition today from trainee to airman. Congratulations. Military training instructors, you may proceed.
At this part of the ceremony, the military training instructors will distribute the venerable Airman's Coin. The lore of military coins have many colorful, if only suspected, origins. However, a popular story stems from American volunteer-formed flying squadrons in France during World War I. One of the volunteers was a wealthy lieutenant who took great pride in his service and had medallions cast in bronze with his squadron's emblem on them. He gave these medallions to every member of his unit. Not long after, one of the pilots was shot down behind enemy lines and was captured by a German patrol. The German forces took all of the pilot's possessions except for the pilot's medallion that he had around his neck. While in a confinement in a small French village, the captured pilot took advantage of a nighttime bombardment by the Allies. He donned civilian clothes and escaped. After crossing the front lines to safety, he came across a French outpost where the French initially thought him a saboteur until he showed them his unit coin. The French forces recognized the unit emblem, and instead of any harsher treatment, he received a bottle of wine. Today, there are many military units that have developed their own unique coins and specific rules for them. Many organizations give out their unit coins in recognition of outstanding performances and achievements. The coin the airmen received today is unique in that it originates here at the gateway to the Air Force and is only given to those who complete the rigorous course of instruction and cross into the blue. On one side of the coin, the original emblem of the Air Force resides, as envisioned by General Henry Hap Arnold, one of the original military aviators, and later commander of the Army Air Forces in World War II. Beneath the emblem, the date, 1947, the birthday of the United States Air Force. And around the rim of the coin, the venerable core values of the Air Force: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Inscribed on the other side of the coin is the new recognized emblem of the Air Force, a symbol that honors the heritage of our past and represents the promise of our future. The emblem retains the core elements of the Henry Hap Arnold emblem, the Arnold wings, and the star within a circle. The modern effect of the emblem reflects our Air and Space Force today and into the future. Inscribed in the half circle above the new Air Force emblem is our motto: aim high, fly, fight, win. And on the border of the coin, a reminder to all those who see this is inscribed: awarded on the occasion of becoming an airman in the world's greatest Air Force.
Congratulations, Airmen. Now how about that Squadron pride?
Second to none!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as our newest airmen recite the Airman's Creed.
100! Hedge! Hedge!
I am an American airman. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Commander, Guam Air National Guard, General Lee Zama.
Let me begin by thanking all of you for allowing me to share in commemorating such a great achievement for these young men and women. For the families watching from home, I empathize with you and can only imagine how disappointed you are that you can't be here physically to support your loved ones. 7.5 weeks ago, you entrusted us with our nation's treasure, your sons and daughters. Your support has pushed these airmen to successfully complete basic military training and join the greatest air and space forces. Take pride in your loved ones' accomplishments and knowing that they've persevered despite what's going on around the world. Take comfort knowing that these trials and tribulations have molded our airmen to be more resilient in the face of adversity. You are all exactly the kind of airmen we need to push our Air Force into the future. It is my great honor to hold a ceremony introducing 670 airmen from the 322nd Training Squadron as our nation's newest airmen. First, I want to talk about a group of people that made this day possible for so many young Americans. To families and friends, aren't these airmen impressive? I know you're extremely proud. To veterans, these airmen are your legacy. Thank you for being here today in whatever form or fashion. To the military training instructors, your dedication and professionalism are second to none. Well done. To the proud airmen graduating from BMT today, congratulations. You have completed a rigorous basic military training program and have earned the title of airman. Remember, over 7.5 weeks ago, you arrived here as citizens. Today, you will begin to serve our nation as extraordinary airmen. This is a significant accomplishment in your life. Your family and friends should be very proud of you. On behalf of the Air Force family, we are proud you decided to cross into the blue. Before I ask that final question, let me ask the Command Chief, military training instructors, staff, and NCOs to stand. How have you performed in your Air Force career?
Outstanding, sir!
How would you expect these graduating airmen to perform in the field?
Outstanding, sir!
Graduates, you can't leave this Command Chief, your military training instructors, and NCOs hanging. How will all of you perform in the field?
Outstanding, sir!
Outstanding! Hear it, believe it. I just have one more question. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest air and space forces? I think they're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Lizama will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Hundred! Head! Head!
Now please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen, and welcome to the world's greatest air and space force.
Thank you, General Lizama. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the Air Force song and the departure of our official party.
1, 2, right up, sing! Cover twos for the left! Oh, turn! Hard!
From the 322nd Training Squadron, Academic Excellence Flight 695, led by Technical Sergeant Mariah McCarty, Military Training Instructor, Hometown, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Flight 696, led by Technical Sergeant Kaylin Ramsey, Military Training Instructor, Hometown, Charleston, Arkansas. PT Excellence Flight 697, led by Technical Sergeant John Davis, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Indianapolis, Indiana. Flight 698, led by Technical Sergeant Zelda Varela, Military Training Instructor, hometown, San Antonio, Texas. Flight 699, led by Technical Sergeant Steve Beasley, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Wake Forest, North Carolina. Flight 700, led by Technical Sergeant Colleen Bartell, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Chicago, Illinois. Flight 701, led by Technical Sergeant Letitia Langley, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Peoria, Illinois. Flight 702, led by Technical Sergeant Randall McKee, military training instructor, hometown, Crestview, Florida. Flight 703, led by Technical Sergeant Philip Rubacava, military training instructor, hometown, Merced, California. Flight 704, led by Technical Sergeant Lakeisha White, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Prattsville, Alabama. Flight 705, led by Technical Sergeant Caitlin Baker, military training instructor, hometown, Austin, Texas. Flight 706, led by Technical Sergeant Jason Lucero, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Flight 707, led by Master Sergeant Will Carrico, military training instructor, hometown, Christmas Valley, Oregon. Flight 708, led by Technical Sergeant Matthew Kaysen, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, Williamsburg, Virginia. Flight 709, led by Technical Sergeant Brian Kennerly, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Las Vegas, Nevada. Flight 710, led by Technical Sergeant Robert Tatum, Military Training Instructor, hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. Flight 711, led by Technical Sergeant Gabriella Lindsay, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Garden Grove, California. PT Excellence Flight 712, led by Technical Sergeant Cruz Dosal, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Flight 713, led by Technical Sergeant Jack Lozano, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, Linden, New Jersey.